This is ATRT squad reporting in. No sign of separatist activity.
Affirmative, sir.
Okay, welcome back to this part 2. Sorry there's going to be a lot of noise in the background, my kids are here today. So since the last time, what we have done is we have trimmed off the bottom, okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to bond this together. But before that, what I want to do is I want to clean up the inside of the fiberglass, because when you put this on, you don't want any fiberglass fibers or sharp pieces from cutting your undersuit or cutting your leg or any part of your body. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use one of these. These are kind of like a basically it's a rough sandpaper, okay, and these things are great. Just a little pad, it's like a Brillo pad for scrubbing. You can scrub off rust and stuff like that. It's just really nice. Just give it a break and a quick rub. Doesn't have to be too perfect. Any areas you think might have sharp pieces, just give it a good rub down. You don't have to do too much, just a little. The next one. There we go. And then let's get an old t-shirt or a cloth and give it a good rub out. If you want to, you could always give it a wash, let it dry, but just give it a good brush, should be fine. Now, that's that done. Now before we do anything else, what I'm going to do is I've got some vinyl tape here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about this much, okay, which is about 5 or 6 inches. Cut that off. And we're going to stick this just here. Okay, that's 6 out of 9. Now the reason for this is I want to give a coat of paint on the inside of my armour, and I want to stick some Velcro here. Now I found in the past if you stick Velcro to the outside of paint, sometimes the paint gives away. So to stop that, now what I'm going to do is put that on, cover it with paint and peel it off, and then I can stick my Velcro straight to the fiberglass on the inside. So that's what we're going to do now, is we're going to give this a quick coat of paint on the inside. Now the paint that I'm using is basically it's an all-purpose outdoor paint that we can put on metal, wood and plastic, and it just comes in white. It doesn't say if it's any type of white, it's just white. Okay, now check at your local hardware store. There's many different types. A lot of people like to use Crayola, which is a very durable paint and it sticks on anything, but I can't get that here in Japan. I'd have to order it in, so this is just the easiest thing at my local hardware store, and I find it covers very well. Okay, so this is what I use, and this just set me back about $5, so give it a good shake. Normally suggest heat this up, but with the humidity here it's quite hot already. I'm just going to give this quite just a light painting on the inside. fancy. Trying to give it a layer of paint. Let it dry for a bit. Next one. Nice even strokes. That's it. Now I'll leave that for a bit and then we'll come back. Right, so the paint is all dried now, and what we're going to do now is, of course, seal them together. So, just going to test fit to remind us where we're going. Okay, so I have drawn my new lines on it to show you where I'm going to put it. This was when I tried it on and it was a snug fit, so I've given a little bit extra, and this is the actual resting place of where these notches are. Okay, I told you before at the very beginning that there was notches on the side which kind of gave you a general actual fit, and that's what we have. Okay, and move it down a bit like that. Yeah, a little bit like that. Okay, and the same on this side. Make sure this is fitting nicely. It has a new line on it. Okay, so it's generally going to go like that. Okay, that's basically what it's going to go. So now what we have to do is apply the glue and then get it put into place as fast as possible. So as I said before, the glue that I'm using is called Big Bond, a Japanese glue, and I'm going to apply it on the inside of the actual leg pieces. Okay, now I've got to do this pretty quickly because it starts to set pretty quick. So I'm just putting it there now. Do the same this side. There we go. Top on. And now I have to get this other piece in as quick as possible. This is not the easiest thing to do, and it's not the quickest thing to do either. So. First side, and put this bit back into the part. There we go. Now I've got to get the clamps on this pretty quick as yeah, and I just got a damp cloth and I'm going to wipe any excess glue away. I'm not too worried, I can sand off most of it, but it just helps with the cleaning. It's all going to have to be sanded off then. It's already started to set, but as you can see, just put water on it. You can start rubbing it off pretty quickly. Yeah, as I said, I'm not a professional doing this, but you'll be fine. Right, so we're just going to leave that now to cure for the next few hours, and we'll bring you back then. How you doing? it's been 48 hours since I bonded this together. I was just like glued it together. So I'm going to now sand off some of the parts. Now it's got a bit windy here now, and you see I'm doing this in the late afternoon, and this fell over and I've taken a chunk out of here, which I'm not too worried about. I'll be able to fill that in. But what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to get some of this excess glue off. Now I still have 2 clamps on here because I needed to re-glue 2 parts that didn't set properly, because the clamps had come free when it fell over. So they have been re-clamped. So while they're still on, I'm just going to sand down the rest of it. So that's what we're going to do right now. So that's why I've got the dust mask back on again, because I don't want any of the particles getting into my lungs, and I'm putting back on my heavy duty gloves. And the reason why I got this on me today is that it's a bit chilly out here and I don't want to catch a cold. So I'm going to start using these. Again, I'm using these type of Brillo pad type sanders that you can get. Okay. You can use any sandpaper you want. I find a kind of coarse one like this is very good for getting the excess residue of the glue off. It doesn't scratch the fiberglass too much, and which I'm not too worried about, as we're going to be spray painting this anyway. So see now it's coming off nicely there. Yeah. Taking these off, make sure everything is done fine. Yeah, they flow a bit better. I'm just going to give these a little rub down here. Yeah. That's turned out really nice. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. Since this has turned out so well, I'm going to actually fill it now tonight. So that's what my next step is going to be. Okay, so what we're using tonight is body putty. Okay, this is very simple to use. It's a 2-part mix. Now I did find that you can actually get this, which is another body putty, but this one is already pre-made, and I've used this as well, and I didn't like it as much as the tin that you make up yourself. I found this one very difficult to use. It started curing very quickly, and it's really good for small areas but not for spreading across large areas. Okay, so it's good for fixing things, but if you really want to do something properly, you're going to have to mix it up yourself. So that's where this guy comes in. Okay, and basically I'm going to open this up. Open it up. You've got this inside. Okay, and yes, it does smell a little bit. You're going to get your spoon and you're going to give it a good stir. then you're going to take out what you think you're going to use. Okay, so that's as much as we're going to use. Put it back on. And literally you just put in a little bit. This is the curing agent, and you just need that much. You don't need that much curing agent. They say just the size of a pea is going to be perfectly fine for it. So we're going to mix this up now until it's fully mixed. And you know when it's fully mixed, the colour goes all the way through it. I'm going to use the spatula to help scrape this off. Make sure I'm going to get everything mixed up. Yeah, that's it. And basically what you want to do then is just put it along where you want to bond. Now the trick to this is basically little is best. Okay, now I'm just going to run this along here a little bit. Don't want to put too much on. As a little is best. If you put too much on, you're going to spend ages trying to scrape it all off. But if you put a little by little, you can build it up then to as much as you want. Because the more you put on, the more you have to scrape off. And I can tell you now, you don't want to be spending your whole life scraping it all off. So you're better off just putting on the amount that you need at first. Okay. Now I did buy this guy, which is going to help me then spread it out. See now, he scraped off the excess, and I'm just going to give it a white over again. She's covered up at the moment. I hope you can see that. The top there and down this side. Okay. I rubbed this unfortunately with my finger, so I had to put some more on, but she should be okay. This is already starting to dry up in this heat, so I don't have much working time with it. I've also put some on the inside to cover up any of the big gaps to help me bond them up as well. Okay, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to leave it now, and we'll come back to it tomorrow and see how she looks. Okay, alright, talk to you then.
Enemy droid sighted.
Roger, Command. We are on the move.